Hello there and welcome to Roth and Aggie Reviews. I'm Kobe. So right now we're going to be reviewing a movie called Opera Imaginaire. That is Opera Imaginaire. It's in French. It's a 1993 production and it's an animated film about operas. So let's get into the kind of details about what kind of film this is. So this film is very similar to movies like Fantasia 1940 or Fantasia 2000 or Allegro non troppo, which is very similar. This is a very similar plot line. And in this movie, it's the same kind of thing, except in this film, we have opera. So all the kind of animated scenes and animated stories go along with an opera, as opposed to jazz music and maybe orchestral music that we get in Fantasia and mostly classical music in Allegro non troppo, if I do remember correctly, because Allegro non troppo, last time I saw that was when I was 12, like the full film, and it was good. I mean, Fantasia, Allegro non troppo were both really good, and so is Opera Imaginaire. Opera Imaginaire is one of those films that I saw very early on, and I'll get into a bit more about the movie itself. So the movie, it focuses on the operas and the story of the operas. And most operas are quite, let's say, they usually end, with how did one CBC person put it? The baritone is dead, the tenor is executed by the firing squad, and the heroine jumps into the battlements. I mean, that's from Tosca, but very often that's the kind of situation we get with operas. They end that way. So with that being said, it's a cartoon film. It's a film that has animated sequences with operas in it. So now let's talk. Is this for kids? Well, there are some scenes that depict violence, like murder or suicide, and I mean, some kids really are mature, and sometimes watching a scene through this kind of through that kind of way of portraying the drama and the horror of the story and the sadness can make the kid realize, wow, and this is really what it's all about. And then the kid matures, as opposed to the kid watching something that is really not suited for an intelligent and empathetic and insightful way of thinking about it. And these movies are different. So even though there's plenty of violence, not plenty of violence, but there are 2 or 3 scenes that have its fair share of violence that really impact the rest of the movie when young viewership is concerned. Now, with that being said, it really is not. It's not that much worse than violence on TV nowadays. I mean, it's not that scary. I would say that what really can be scary for young people, for kids watching this movie, is just the intensity of the music and the intensity of the cartoons. I mean, these cartoons are not your usual cartoons. They are done in various styles, and that's what I'm going to get into with regards to the animation or stop motion or CGI. This movie, for each opera segment, has a different animation. Yes, that's right. So we have about a couple of arias, or chorus pieces, from operas such as Carmen, Marriage of Figaro, Cinderella, Pagliacci, Tosca. We have them from Lacme. We have operas by Verdi, The Magic Flute. So we have animated pieces that go along with the arias or musical pieces from those operas. And for each piece, there's a different way of animating the story, and that's just fantastic. It's beyond word describing how good it's done. It's for some parts it's stop motion, for some it's CGI, for some it's a mixture of CGI and stop motion, for some it's pastel, coloring and pastel drawing, and for some other ones it's water paints. Other ones it's like computer slash pencil drawn animation, 2D mixed with 3D background. Like it's really talking about visuals. it really does it well there. The arias that they chose, the singers that are also great. The movie length is not that long. It's actually really good in terms of how it's spaced and how the timing goes, and it really does occupy your mind. It's unusual. It's a very rare film in the sense that the narrators of each story before the animation of the opera begins, the animation and the opera music begins, is narrated by two three-dimensional computer characters that look a bit like three tenors, right? And they describe each opera, and they talk about it, and they're dressed like the three tenors, and I think that's really clever. It's really funny. It's really cool. It's really creative. So yeah, we have a couple of things here. We have good characters, which keep reoccurring, which are the tenors that explain each opera, and then we have the what you call them, the operas itself, the animation, and just the overall experience. So I would say you check out this film. It's really, really cool. And if you like operas, fantastic. If you like cartoons, animated films, fantastic. And if you have an interest in both, being together, and you've been searching for something that has both operas and animated films in it, this is your thing. Gotta check it out. So with that being said, all the best. Probably gonna do another review later on today, and all the best, guys. Take care.